Welcome to Libraryish, the podcast that tells you everything you didn't know you needed to know about libraries. I'm Tracy.
And I'm January. And this episode, we're celebrating National Library Week 2025 by debunking some of the biggest myths about libraries.
That's right. From do you really have to whisper to aren't all libraries just for kids? We have heard it all.
Oh my goodness. So grab your book bag and your curiosity because we're about to debunk, decode, and demystify what libraries are really all about.
Let's go. All right, so library myths. It's National Library Week, and we couldn't think of a better way to celebrate
Indeed.
than sort of debunking some of the myths that people have about libraries.
And it's super crazy because I was looking at the myths and I'm just like, oh my gosh, people still believe these kind of things. So it's good to get it out there. And I know we did a couple episodes at the beginning of this podcast where we're talking about why libraries are still vital and everything. And these myths kind of work into why people feel that we're not anymore. So this is good. I think this is great.
Absolutely. So, all right, let's go. Myth number one. Libraries are just for books.
Oh my goodness. I can't. Okay, so I love to read. I love it. It's my favorite hobby. I consider myself a reader, and if you took my ability to read, you would take my ability to breathe. It would just be equal. I'd be like, oh, it's super potato. It would be bad times.
Yes.
However, we as an institution, I feel, recognize that not everybody feels that they're at that level where reading is breathing.
Yeah, 100%.
And we provide a lot of stuff to people who don't read. We have programs that are very interactive for kiddos all the way through adults. We have items for checkout that aren't just books. I mean, not to mention our DVDs that we offer as far as physical items. Down in Oroville, we have our Library of Things that if you need a pressure washer, you could check one out.
Exactly.
Right?
From pressure washer to ukulele.
Right?
You can get the stuff you need.
It's so much fun. And I know for a fact one of our in our social media department, we have a wonderful employee there who was going to do a little segment on the Library of Things. And so she went and checked out a bunch of camping stuff. She checked out a chair. She checked out a stove. She checked out, all these different
lanterns.
But yeah,
all the things that you need. We have baking pans. We have that Library of Things. If you haven't checked our catalog, which is available online, you can just go to our website. You can see the list of everything we have. We have a telescope. It's incredible what we offer, and we definitely recommend you check it out. You do have to do it. It's exclusively at the Oroville branch. You have to pick up there, and you have to drop your stuff back off there, but it's well worth it.
Yeah, see, a lot of the things are really big and they don't fit in our little book bins. So we can't take them from branch to branch, unfortunately. I can't even imagine the gentleman that comes by and picks up everything, him having to move a shovel or a power washer or any of that stuff. No. So it has to be picked up and dropped off in Orville. But they're absolutely amazing. There was a meteor shower not too long ago back in October, and before that, and we have a telescope that you could check out for free, set it up and watch the meteors come down with a telescope.
Absolutely.
It's a wonderful thing, and it's not a book. And if you don't like DVDs, there's a lot of people that they've been donating their DVDs. Thank you so much, because they've been streaming so much. We have a streaming service. We have Hulu that you can stream stuff on. We have audiobooks. If you're one of those people that just likes to ear read, we have audiobooks. And then the last podcast I talked about, if you go into Libby, we have graphic audio, which is like a radio show with sound effects and a full cast of actors, and it's delightful. And if you haven't, gotten a chance to do that, it is addicting.
Absolutely.
It's so good.
And if you don't have devices to be able to take advantage of the e-services we offer, like the e-books, e-audio, all those things, the graphic novels that are on Hoopla, extensive collection of graphic novels on Hoopla, you can come and we check out devices through our Access to Technology program. So you can check out an iPad. You can check out a hotspot if you want to view streaming services. We offer so much. We also have public access to Wi-Fi. We have public computers. So if you need to print out your boarding pass for a flight, you can come and do it here. Anything you can possibly imagine, we offer. So saying that we're just books is just, it just means you haven't been to a library in a while. So you should probably come in.
Yeah. I was just thinking about this yesterday, back when I was doing my undergrad in Chico, which is a handful of years ago.
Just two.
Anyway. But they had because I was poor, I had to go to the library and I had to get myself a textbook my teacher put on reserve for us poor folk. And I would go to the Xerox machine and I would make copies of the textbook, and it was 10 cents a page. And that's back a few years ago. And, inflation has gone up since then. And, I can't think of any other place that you can get a printed page for 10 cents a page.
Yep.
And honestly, we don't make a profit on that, FYI. It's not like retail wholesale where we get it for 10 cents and then we charge you 50 to make a profit.
No, all our photocopies, our printable pages are 10 cents for black and white, then 50 for color.
Because that's what the company that uses the printer, that owns the printer, because we don't own the printer, that's the company, that's what they charge. And so that's all you pay. It's not, we're going to make a profit. I'm going to build my yacht. It's going to be great. It's not like that at all. We don't.
No dancing over the photocopy.
We're not making it rain with all the profits that we're doing here. It's not like that. It is just, and that's a lot of what we do here is public services. They don't just, books are a big part of it because books are awesome, but they don't just involve books.
Yeah, no, absolutely not. So I think that one is fairly busted.
Yes, Mythbusting.
So the next myth number 2, you have to be quiet all the time.
I'm sorry. This one makes me laugh so much because of us in particular.
Yeah.
So Tracy and I will be at any one of the 6 library branches. We've been in the majority. The only one I haven't got to work in is Biggs, which I would love to someday. It's just adorable. If you haven't gotten a chance to go to Biggs, please do so. Not because I'm not there, but because it's a beautiful, adorable little branch. Anyway.
Adorable. It's a Carnegie Library. It's the last one in operation through Butte County Library. It's definitely worth it.
It's worth the visit, just for the historical properties of it. But Tracy and I will be in any one of our branches, and we'll be in the main part of the library, and we'll be using our inside voices. They're inside voices at first, and then we start talking, we start conversing, and it gets a little louder and a little louder.
Yeah, you may have noticed if you watched an episode or 2 of the podcast that we're kind of loud.
I'm not quiet at all, and we've had a couple of patrons come up to us and be like, you're in a library, don't you?
I mean,
fair, I guess. So we are considered a conversational library, where as long as you're using your inside voice and you're not screaming and you're not yelling and you're not being aggressive or rude, you're allowed to communicate with other people or, inanimate objects, whatever you're supposed to do it for,
Okay.
as long as it's at an inside voice tone.
Yes.
However, that being said, we do have areas in each of our branches that if you want it a little quieter, you go to this particular area. I know that at Chico, you just go all the way to the back, and the whole back end is considered a quiet zone. Here in Paradise, if you go to the back by the window where we have the adult graphic novels in the large type section, that's considered our quiet zone. And, every branch has this quiet zone where you're expected to be quieter, but absolute silence is absolutely not something that we facilitate.
And it's all part of the transition that libraries have made from being study spaces, which is essentially how libraries started. We covered this in one of our early podcasts. So essentially, libraries were donated collections from social groups who had interest in particular topics, where they would aggregate books and papers on the specific topics. And that would be exclusively what the library was about.
Very exclusive.
Yes, very. And it's like, that isn't what libraries are anymore. Yes, we have books, and yes, that's the focus, but we're really a community hub. So our children's spaces, particularly in Butte County, are not enclosed. Some libraries have enclosed children's spaces. We don't.
No.
Some libraries have enclosed studied spaces. We don't. So everybody is sort of gathered together, with very little differentiation between the spaces. So we do have to keep other people's comfort in mind. However, people are going to talk. People are going to have interactions. children are going to be playing in the children's section.
This is
And
true.
unfortunately, like sound does carry.
It does.
And that's why we have the designated areas that are like quieter in general, that if people want to read, that's sort of where they congregate. But the sound from the children's area is going to carry over. So, maybe plan your visits when looking at our calendar, which is also available online.
Very much so.
And see, try not to be around when there are children's events happening, craft programs, story times, things like that may get a little loud. If you avoid those hours, you're more likely to have quieter time when you come to the library. But libraries are places where people are meant to come and interact and meet each other. They're community hubs these days. They are not study spaces. There are plenty of university libraries where the public does have access. And I also think I'm really passionate about library anxiety, which is essentially this feeling that people get that libraries are stately buildings, the gravitas of the sort of academia adjacent library, even though it's a public space. And a lot of people are very intimidated about coming into libraries. And the fact is, it's because of all the years of that reinforcement of, these are hallowed grounds where we're dispensing information to only the greatest minds. The whole argument is also part of that. It is only like fiction, literature or popular fiction, as if there's really a distinction between the two. And those days are over. Libraries are places we want you to be comfortable coming in. We want you to be yourself. We want you to be able to explore the shelves and read what you like to read. If you are interested in reading something and it's not on our shelf, you can make a purchase suggestion so that we can actually get in the things that you like to read. We're not here to uphold some sort of imaginary standard or to uphold some standard for some imaginary few. We're here for you. This is your space.
It's so funny. I love the people that come up and they assume because I work in a library, I must be a certain way.
I must be reading the very intellectual novels, and I must be, with my nose up, and I must be, a very high intellectual. And I'm like, I'm not very smart. I disappoint those people so quickly, and it's such a joy.
Yeah, it's lovely. Well, I think that myth is
busted.
All right, so let's move on now to myth number 3. I think this is a very good sort of transition that librarians just sit around and read all day. Do you sit around and read very smut all day?
God, I wish I could.
Oh no, she doesn't read very smut all day.
See, the problem with this myth is that people don't see what we do behind the scenes.
Right.
And they don't see how the sausage is made.
Oh, no.
And I understand no one wants to know how the sausage is made, but at the same time, you kind of got to understand that there's a lot that goes into running a library, even at the lower levels. Like, because I'm a library assistant. I'm not a librarian, nor am I a manager, nor am I an assistant director, nor am I a director. But there's a lot that goes into running the library that y'all just don't see. When it comes to just the books that come in, we have to make sure they go to the right person, they go to the right library. We have to check them in. We have to process them when they come in. If there's someone in tech services, they have to get the books from the retailer and make them ready to go out to you guys. We have to do programming, which is, I say half, but it's a lot of fun. If it's kids programming, it's activities that we do with them. Story times take a lot behind them, a lot of planning, a lot of prepping, a lot of, we have
a lot
to
of
gather
expertise.
Right. And we have to gather materials, and a lot of stuff goes into it. I wish I had time to sit and read. It would be fantastic, but we don't. And honestly, we try very hard to prioritize at each one of our branches. We try to prioritize the needs of our clientele, the needs of our patrons. And if I'm sitting at the front reading a book and you come up to me and I'm like, psh, hold on, that's
like your kid, just one more page. Just one more page and I'll go to bed.
Just one more chapter and then I'll help you.
Just one more page and I'll renew your book.
No, none of us are like that. We prioritize.
We don't have time to be
No,
like that.
we don't. Honestly, there's so much stuff that we're doing. The grants that are being writing, the grants that are being enacted, the programs that are being planned, the programs that are being facilitated, the books that are being processed, the books that are being sent out. That just basic stuff.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about it, like to put it in perspective of what other businesses do, we do customer service. We do client management, which is our patrons, we manage their accounts. We do collection management, which is managing the collection of all the things that we mentioned in the first myth.
Books and non-books.
Books, digital books, non-books. All of those collections need extensive cataloging, management. We have to track everything. We have to track the patron accounts. Working in a library is performing so many different jobs at once that there is absolutely no time, except maybe break time and home time, where we get to, and home time is relative when you work in a library too. That doesn't even include the programming. That doesn't even include the facilitating our meeting spaces for people who use our meeting spaces, making sure that the audiovisual equipment and the facilities are well maintained so that they're usable by people that come to use our management, our meeting spaces. Like there is so many moving pieces. And so we would love to be able to read all day, but that is like that. The fact is, we're not here so we can read all day. We're so here. Exactly.
Yeah.
We're here so you can read.
Yeah,
So,
that's what we get paid for. That's our job. We're here for you. And honestly, if y'all got a suggestion of what you would like to see in the library, whether it be a material or a program or anything, you're welcome to give us that suggestion. I mean, you can leave it on the website. You could fill out a feedback form. I want to hear from you. Honestly, leave it in the comments even. I would love to hear from you what you think should be offered.
I think we've got there. Myth busted.
Yeah.
All right. Myth number 4. We're going to do myth number 4. You need a library card to use anything at the library.
You really don't. I mean, don't get me wrong. A library card is extraordinarily beneficial, and you can access so much more with one, and it costs the low price of for free. So it's a good thing to have. Now, is it necessary? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
No.
There's so many services that you can utilize at the library without one.
100%. And I think that kind of goes along with this. Another myth that's sort of attached to this is that libraries require membership or membership fees. And the fact is, this isn't like
Private.
Barnes and Noble where you get the little member card and a library card is 100% free. Everything that we offer you is inclusive within the library card. However, there are many services that we offer that where a library card is not required at all, including the public computers and access to that. Printing, it's not required. Photocopying, it's not required. Coming in and using our Wi-Fi, if you bring your own laptop because you want an office away from home or away from work, instead of going to some coffee shop that shall remain nameless, that you might go and, have to spend money at, because a lot of them are requiring that now, you can go to your local library and you could just set up your little shop and do it.
All day.
We have somebody in Chico that comes in and they have a full audio setup and a keyboard, and they record music at Chico because it's a quiet space, it's accessible, they have room to work.
I've seen this person you're talking about. It's amazing because they have headphones plugged into the keyboard and they just sit there and they play and they just relax there, and no one's going to come and bug you.
Absolutely.
I mean, unless you're eating, in which case we might bug you.
Yeah,
because it's books. It's not a lot. But it's just you're welcome to do this without a library card. You're welcome to participate in the programs without a library card. I know in Chico, there's the Ugly Art Club that the Max runs, and it's a fantastic experience. And they do new art. It's once a month, and you just have to drop in.
And all the supplies are included. You don't have to bring anything with you, not a brush, not a pencil, no paint, nothing.
You don't pay anything for it. I
No.
know there's a couple of organizations that will do things like this, and they'll be like, okay, it's $50 a person,
Yeah.
materials, it's
Oh, yeah.
and we don't do that. We
No.
just we gather everything, and then you come and you get to experience this, and you don't need a library card to do so. The only reason you would ever need a library card is if you wanted to take anything home. So if you want to take a book home, if you want to take an iPad home, if you want to take a hotspot home, then you would most definitely need a library card, because we're hoping that stuff comes back, but I mean, just to come and hang out and do a program and use the computer and print some paper and use our Wi-Fi.
And
free.
you can
With no
come and read.
Oh yeah, there's that, huh?
I mean, a lot of people right now, there's a very popular thing that's happening in some places, and we may even start them coming fall. Like we are we've gotten new hours. Yes, absolutely. I know. So we've gotten new hours. So
Exciting.
all of our branches, except for Biggs, are now open 5 days a week. Chico's up at 6. Yeah, and everybody's so excited. Nobody's more excited than we are.
Oh my God.
But you're more than welcome. There are a lot of places and people that are doing silent book clubs in like commercial spaces.
Mhm.
The library is available. You can check our website for the schedules,
Mhm.
and you come and read and check what we have on the shelves and see what we have. If you have DIY projects, you can come in, look for a book that can help you, and take a photocopy of the pages and bring it home with you so you can do that.
That's a very good point.
Yes.
I didn't even think about DIYs. But in addition, I wanted to talk about if you are a weak reader, like you don't read as an adult,
Yes.
you don't read because you never really learned and you never really practiced and you don't feel comfortable with it because your ability is so weak. Or maybe you came over here speaking a different language
Yes.
and you're just kind of learning English and you want to get better, but you don't know how and you're kind of scared to ask anyone.
100%.
We have, and you do not need a library card for this, we have a program through our literacy department where the wonderful literacy manager, she's amazing. I love
Chelsea's so
Chelsea.
great.
She's so good. You would contact them and then she would pair you with a tutor who would meet with you on a one-on-one basis to assist you. And these are trained tutors. These aren't just,
Yeah.
I had some free time and I thought I'd come in here to waste some with you and your people. No, these are trained people that they'll pair you with and they will assist you in either helping you with your English skills or helping you learn how to read for free with no need for a library card and completely non-judgmental. No one's going to make fun of you for this. We will all admire you greatly for it. So, I mean, if you don't want to use the library one because you don't need a library card for this, or you don't feel that your reading ability isn't strong enough to be a part of this, please come. Please
Yeah.
call.
We have services for you too, and they don't require a library card. And we have all sorts of support. Again, check the website.
Mhm.
There's all kinds of support that we can offer,
Mhm.
and none of it, very little. I think you said it best when you're like, unless you want to take something home.
Yes, if you want to take something home, you will need a library card, but to participate in anything, access to technology classes, reading classes,
Mhm.
programs for kids or adults, book clubs, you don't need a library card for any of this.
Nope, not for one
Please.
thing.
Come and say hi.
Yes, absolutely. So I think we got another myth that's been busted. All right, now we're going to ask the final question. And this is kind of a little bit of a more heavy one that we've dealt before, but I think, we both think that it's actually important to
Yes.
address. And that is that libraries are government run, so they must be political.
Political. Okay, so especially nowadays, everybody's political. Everybody has a political opinion, and I love that. I do 100%. I feel that you should be active in your government and what's happening.
Participation is
Yes.
so important.
100%. Now, when we consider the library, you have to understand that library employees county employees are 100% neutral. I have had, because I'm up in Paradise. I love Paradise. This is my favorite community because I live here. But y'all want to talk story. And I love that. And I love talking to you. And I've had people come in and be like, I love Trump so much. He has improved this country. I love it. And I've had people come in, I hate Trump. He's horrible. We can't, I've had both.
Mhm.
I can't agree with either one of you because it's a political opinion and I have to be neutral. We have materials that are pro this current political organization that's going on, and we have materials that are anti this current political thing. And we carry both with no judgment whatsoever because we have to be 100% neutral about it. I have no judgment. I have the same amount of judgment checking out a pro-Republican book versus checking out a pro-Democrat book, checking out a book that's anti both of them or pro both of them.
Mhm.
It's all gravy to us, every single bit of it. And I just, I'm happy to come to talk to you and I want to talk to you. But when it comes to you as saying, well, what's your opinion on this? It will always be a neutral opinion.
Mhm.
It will always be an opinion of, I can neither confirm nor deny or agree or disagree with you because I'm neutral. I'm Switzerland.
That's
Is that still a phrase that's used?
Yes, well, for now, yes,
Yeah.
sure. I mean, I think people have to understand too that this is coming from, it's a sort of a two-prong approach.
Mhm.
As a municipal institution, we're here to serve all taxpayers.
Yes.
So we do not have a political position
No.
on anything.
Nothing.
Our political position is that we love our community and that we serve our community.
So,
And that's what it is. And every member of the community, all 200,000 plus people that reside within Butte County,
Mhm.
are part of that community and they deserve equal service
very much so.
as government employees.
Mhm.
Now, the other part of that for us as a library
Mhm.
is that what we provide is information.
Mhm.
We do not proselytize. We do not give any opinions. We do not advocate. Our position is that we provide you with the information you need to make an informed decision about what you believe.
Mhm.
We're not here to try to shape your opinion. We're not here to try to shape discourse. We're here to provide access to the information to help you make a choice. And it has been that way since the beginning of libraries in this country,
Mhm.
that what we do is provide access.
Mhm.
So you find, as January said, you find books of all political stripes here.
Mhm.
You find books advocating for all different kinds of opinions,
Mhm.
for all different kinds of things, representing all different kinds of people,
Mhm.
because that's our function,
Mhm.
is to help you get access to the things that you wouldn't necessarily get access to otherwise. We all sort of live in silos. We all live in bubbles.
Mhm.
We have circles that we travel in. Very often we gather people around us that have the same opinions that we do,
Mhm.
that have the same beliefs. And it becomes very difficult to interrogate yourself if you don't have access to varying information. That's one of the problems with using the internet as a source. The internet uses algorithms that will feed your point of view, that it analyzes through the searches that you do, the products that you buy,
Mhm.
the things that you write. It uses all that data and it feeds you things that you might appreciate, enjoy, like.
Big Brother's always watching, isn't he?
Oh, yes. But you see, in the library,
Mhm.
we're not feeding you anything.
No.
We're providing accessibility, but you're the guide. You're the master of your own. What used to be the books?
Oh,
You
you want
the,
to talk about Manifest Destiny?
no, I'm talking about the choose your own ending. Just choose your own adventure. That when you come to the library, you choose your own adventure. You choose the books that you want to read.
Mhm.
You choose the points of view you want to explore, and you get to make an informed decision using the information that we provide.
Mhm.
That's why we're here.
Yeah, and you know what? Like we said before, with the purchase suggestions, if you're here and you're looking around and you're seeing that your interests are not reflected,
You find there's an author that you really want to read and they're not available.
yeah,
Don't presume that it's because we're trying to suppress that information.
don't.
There are thousands of books that are published per day. And it is impossible. I mean, that's not hyperbole. There are thousands
Literally.
literally published
Uh-huh.
a day. So we are bound to miss things.
Yes.
And that's why it's so important that you communicate your wants and needs to us so that we can make sure
Yes.
that you get what you want to read.
And we're not going to judge you in the least bit. This is very non-judgmental.
We just want you to read.
Yes, we're just happy you're reading. And we said this in past episodes. I am the last person that's going to judge your reading material.
Oh,
For
my
real.
goodness, for so
So
many
just-
reasons.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know, right? Just leave a purchase suggestion. Let us know what you want, and we can do that.
Absolutely. Because
That's our job.
we're here to serve the community and we want to know what the community wants. And once we know what the community wants,
Right?
we can provide that to
See,
them.
it's so funny to me because we're very busy, and like we said before, in the last month we have no time to read. I've got lots of stuff on my plate to worry about. I'm not worried about what you're reading. I'm not worried
No.
about trying to direct your attention a certain way. That I have way too much to do as it
Yeah.
is. So you let me know what you would like
Yes.
to read, and we will try to make it happen.
100.
Don't make my job harder.
Yeah, exactly. By not communicating.
Let's communicate. I can't read your mind.
Yes, exactly. We don't want to be here guessing. We
No.
want to be sure that we know what you want.
Let us know. And there's so many ways to tell us. You can leave a comment on the website. You can purchase a suggestion. You can leave a comment. You can all the things.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
We're here to serve. That's what we do.
Okay, so political myth busted. And that's a wrap on our library myth busting extravaganza.
If you learned something new today, or if we busted a myth you used to believe, share this episode with a friend and help us spread the library love.
And hey, it's National Library Week, the perfect time to visit your local branch and see what your library can really do.
Mhm. Until next time, stay curious, stay loud, and stay librarianship. Bye-bye.
Bye.